I'm Katie Saleh. I'm an integrative wellness coach and cooking instructor, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making beef bolognese using all organic ingredients, including a really delicious buckwheat rotini pasta from Big Green Foods. A lot of gluten-free pastas, I feel like the texture is just not there and the flavor is just not there. Big Green Food is an exception. It's a really great texture, great flavor. I think you're gonna love it. We're gonna pack it with vegetables. So we have celery, carrot. I have a yellow onion here. White works great for bolognese too. We are doing some garlic, and we have a large can of diced tomatoes. This one's from Whole Foods. It's a 28-ounce can. I also have a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, no salt added. Red table wine by Agriculturist. This is the grass-fed beef I'm using. 5 ounces of shiitake mushrooms, just because I love the flavor of shiitake mushrooms and the texture it will add. I'm going to dice an onion. I like to pulse it in the food processor just to save time. Next, I'm dicing 1 carrot and 2 celery stalks. We want to really finely chop our carrot and celery because this is going to be incorporated into the bolognese sauce. You always want to make sure your pan is hot before adding your oil. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I'm adding my onion, celery, and carrots. I'm going to saute that for 10 minutes. I've just finely minced 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to cook that for 3 more minutes. I'm going to slice up my shiitake mushrooms. I'm going to cook that for an additional 5 minutes, and then stir in my ground beef. I let that saute until the meat is fully cooked. Now I'm adding a few generous shakes of sea salt. I'm gonna mix that in, and then I'm adding a cup of water. I'm gonna let that absorb into the meat and veggies for another 10 minutes. The meat is cooking up really nicely. It's absorbed most of the water we added. So now we're gonna go ahead and add a cup of red table wine. I'm gonna let that absorb, and once that's absorbed, I'm adding a whole can of the diced tomatoes and a whole can of the tomato paste. All right, I've added my tomato paste to help thicken the sauce along with the diced tomatoes. Now I've turned the heat to low. We're gonna add some fresh oregano for some extra flavor. This is a teaspoon of finely chopped oregano. So I'm gonna mix that in, and we're gonna cover the pot and let it simmer for an hour and a half. You can let this simmer as long as you have time for. The longer the better. So our sauce has been cooking for an hour and a half. Smells amazing, smelling up the whole house. Now we're ready to salt our boiling water and get our pasta going. So I'm gonna use some sea salt to salt my boiling water. I'm using Big Green Foods Buckwheat Rotini. The reason I love this pasta, it only has 1 ingredient. It's organic buckwheat flour. It's also a great source of protein. So it's just a really great healthy choice for pasta. It's also safe for diabetics. It has a lower glycemic index. So let's go ahead and add our pasta. We're gonna boil for 10 minutes. We've just boiled our pasta for 10 minutes and I've strained it here. So I'm gonna give one a try and make sure it's ready. Perfect. So let's go ahead and serve it up. Okay, I'm so ready to dig in. First, I'm adding a little bit of fresh oregano on top as a garnish. I'm gonna pour a little red wine. It's a nice pairing for the bolognese. And let's try a bite. But first, if you want to pick up some of this pasta for yourself, you can visit biggreenorganic.com. And for more of my recipes, check out my Instagram, Saleh_wellness. All right, cheers. Thanks for joining. Yummy.